Hello, my lovely students. How are you, my boys? How are you, my girls? Hope you're fine. Today we're gonna to complete our lesson in chapter 8, which is what is one way to change matter. Okay? I told you yesterday that we have two ways to change matter. The first way is the physical change. The second way is the chemical change. I said physical changes happen when we change the matter, but we don't change what it's made of. So, when we change the matter, but we don't change what it's made of. So, matter is still the same matter. Chemical changes happen when we change the matter to make a new matter. So, when we change the matter to make a new matter. So, matter changes into a new matter, a new substance. Here we have some examples of physical and chemical change. As you see here in this picture, we have examples of physical change. Look at the pencil. When we have this pencil, and if this pencil is broken, so the pencil here is still pencil, even it's broken. Look here at the ice. The ice melts into water. The ice melts into water, but the ice is water. And here we have water. So water is still water. So these are examples of physical change because the matter is still the same matter. But look here. Here we have wood. The wood changes into ash. The ash is a new matter. Look. They are different. So, the wood changes into a new matter. So, the matter here is not still the same matter. We have a new matter. Look here at the ingredients. If we mix them together and put them inside the oven, they change into cake, right? The ingredients change into a new matter. So here we have the same matter, but in the chemical change, we have a new matter. Physical change happens when we change the size, and we talked it yesterday. The size, look here, the girl. She's cutting the paper, so she's changing the size of the paper. Look, it will become smaller. Physical change happens when we change the shape of the matter and the color of the matter. Look, here we have paper. Then we crumbled this paper. Look, it was flat. Now it becomes like ball. So we change the shape of paper, right? And we changed also the color. It was white, then green, then purple. So physical change happens when we change the shape and the color. And we took them yesterday. Physical change happens when we change the state of matter. Look, we have an ice cream cone, but the ice cream melts. Look. We will study this part in our lesson. So, Open your mind with the biggest key and be ready with teacher Rima. Let's revise the song of the vocab. Physical change happens when something changes, but the kind of matter stays the same. Physical change happens when something changes, but the kind of matter stays the same. Physical change happens when something changes, but the kind of matter stays the same. You save the song? I want you to save it. So, let's see this video to know the changing the state of matter. We have this process: freezing, say freezing, melting, evaporation, condensation. We talked the evaporation and the condensation. Do you remember when? Yes, when we talk the water cycle. Water cycle is the movement of the water from the earth's surface into the air and then back. Complete it. Good job. To the surface of the earth. Okay. We said we have evaporation, condensation. You remember? We will know more about the evaporation and the condensation. So, see the...
Yeah, it is free!
Today's topic, change in matter. Oh, I can't finish it fast as it is melting.
Oh yes, mine is melting too.
They are eating ice cream, but the ice cream here and here. Look, they are melting. Look, melting.
Why is this melting?
Let me show you something.
Why have you brought me back?
Let's find out the secret why solid like ice cream melts.
Oh, secret! But then these are ice cubes.
Yes, it is called the secret of molecules. You know,
Molecules. Molecules mean particles. Do you remember the particles? If I draw 3 containers, the first container is solid, second container is liquid, third container is gas. S stands for solid, L for liquid, G for gas. The molecules or the particles in the solid are having this shape. See the shape? They are close to each other. They have regular shape. Okay? In the they have spaces between the particles because the liquid takes the shape of the container. They don't have regular shape. Here, the distance here is bigger than the distance here, right? So these are the particles or the molecules of the three states of matter. Okay, we gonna to see
Everything is made of molecules. When you heat molecules, they start moving faster.
Then what happens?
Let's enter the
She said, when we heat the molecules or the particles, they will move faster. Okay? Focus now.
world of molecules to see this.
Look,
You know, these molecules in solid are tightly
look, these are the molecules or the particles in the solid. This is inside the ice. Okay? They are close to each other and they have regular shape. Look at this line, all of them the same line. This is the second line, third, and the fourth one. Okay? So the molecules are close to each other, but they are moving. They are moving because we heat the ice, okay? We heat the solid by using the stove. Look,
packed and they don't go out, but they're not fixed. They keep moving. They come near to each other and then again go away, like saying, I'm your friend. And no, I'm not your friend.
Like you and me.
Yes, but when it gets hot, they start moving away from each other. And you know,
now the molecules are getting hot. They are getting hotter, hotter and hotter. So we have distance now. We have spaces between them. When we have spaces between the molecules or the particles, sure, the particles will change the state of matter. They were closing, then now they are moving because we have heat, source of heat, which is the stove. They are getting hotter. So look, now what will happen to these molecules?
when molecules are far from each other, what happens?
Yes, matter becomes liquid.
Matter becomes liquid. Ice becomes water, right?
Yes, it is also called melting.
So this process, we called it melting. Melting. Melting happens when we change the solid into liquid by heating, by getting hotter. Okay?
Melting. When molecules in solid becomes a bad, it turns into liquid.
Now, still we are heating the liquid.
Now the stove is working. Now we have water, we have liquid, and we have source of heat here. The stove is source of heat. So the liquid here is getting hotter, hotter and hotter. So the molecules will move faster. Okay? when the molecules move, what will happen? They will change the state. Now, it's liquid, then it will become C.
Liquid, so molecules are moving faster. Some of them are coming out. We can see them, but they're forming a gas. So, when vapor comes out of liquid on heating, it is called evaporation.
Evaporation. When the liquid is getting hotter by heating, the liquid becomes gas or water vapor here, because we have water here, so this is water vapor. So this process, we called it evaporation. Do you remember when the sun heats the water evaporates into water vapor, right? Do you remember in the water cycle? The same here. But here, the stove is the heat source. But in the water cycle, the sun is the heat source, okay?
Vapors. Evaporation.
Now, let me show you something.
Oh, vapors are again becoming liquid.
Okay. Here we have liquid. The liquid is getting hotter. But here we put the cover. Look, the cover is colder than the pot, right? So here we have cooler object. The water vapor is, good job, is getting hotter. So the water vapor is getting hotter, then we have a cooler object.
Yes, because the temperature of the cover.
I made this. Do you remember? I made this in the class. Do you remember? When I bought the notebook? Do you remember? We bought the notebook. Then we have, and you touch it. Yes, we have water.
Is cooler than the temperature inside the pot. So molecules again start coming close to each other. This is how rain happens.
When water vapors touch a cool surface, they become dense. They come close to each other. It is called condensation.
So this process, we called it condensation. So the condensation, when we have water vapor or gas, and the gas changes into, good job, into liquid by cooling. Okay, by cooling. So the water vapor is getting cooler.
Very good. You're writing all. Wow, Jimmy. Do you know we can turn this liquid into solid? How?
She puts the water in the freezer. Look at the time here.
Just wait.
After some time. Oh, it has turned into solid again.
Yes, the molecules again become slow and come closer to each other, and it becomes ice and solid. It is also.
So the molecules or the particles now are not moving. So they are close to each other. They are holding each other. So the water changes into ice. The water changes into ice because the water is getting cooler.
Called freezing.
This process we called it freezing.
Oh, these molecules are like us in cold. We want to sit close to each other.
Yes, you're right. In summers, we sit apart.
Freezing. On cooling, liquid molecules come together and it becomes solid. Let me note down what happens to molecules when they are put in cold temperature.
Let's study this shape or this picture. Ice becomes water by melting. By melting. When the ice is getting hotter, it changes into water. Now the water is getting hotter too. So the water evaporates into water vapor. So from solid to liquid, we call the process melting. From liquid to gas, evaporation. So here we are increasing the temperature. Increase. Okay, so the matter is getting hotter. Hotter. Now here, the water vapor changes into liquid because the water vapor is getting colder. So when the water vapor is getting colder, it changes into liquid. This process we called it condensation. Now the liquid is getting colder too. So the liquid changes into solid. This process we called it freezing. So we have four processes, okay? The first process is melting, then evaporation, condensation, the last one is freezing, okay?
Thank you, Ginny.
Let me show you something.
Oh, this grass is so wet in the morning.
Yeah, there is a lot of dewdrops on the grass.
Dewdrops? How these are formed?
It is condensation.
Condensation.
Yes, when air is full of water vapors and it touches the grass, which is cold, water vapor condenses and they forms water vapors.
Oh, when grass leaves are cooler than air, the water in the air condenses and water drops appear on the grass.
Yes.
Dewdrops happen due to condensation.
Please give me a chocolate.
Oh, it's all melting.
Yes, it seems it melted because of the heat.
Yes, because of the heat, molecules in the chocolate started moving away from each other and they became liquid.
Oh, that is why my mama tells that we should keep chocolates in the refrigerator.
Yes, that way molecules in the chocolate remains close to each other.
Due to heat, melting happens.
I know why they keep clothes outside for drying.
Oh, you have understood. Please tell me.
On sunny days, when the sun is hot, a lot of heat comes. Due to heat, the water molecules in clothes start moving away from each other.
Yes, and the water turns into gas, which is called evaporation.
Wet clothes dry in sun due to evaporation.
If we can learn this well,
Okay, so this boy and this girl give us examples of the melting when the chocolate melts evaporation, when the cloth dry. Condensation, when we have droplet on the grass. Freezing, when we have to put, they said we have to put the chocolate inside the freezer to stay solid. Okay, so I want you to save this picture in your mind. Save it. From solid to liquid, the process is melting. Ice to water, ice is getting hotter, so we have water. This process is melting. The water is getting hotter, so it changes into gas, water vapor. This process, evaporation. When the water vapor is getting colder, we have liquid. This process, condensation. When the liquid freezes, or when the liquid is getting colder, we have solid. This process, we called it freezing. This is our lesson. Let's complete our changing the state of matter. We said we have 4 processes: freezing, melting, evaporation, and condensation. Freeze. Freeze means to change from liquid to solid. Liquid into solid by melting. So liquid melts to solid. By what? By cooling. So the liquid is getting colder. Here we have water, and we put the water inside the freezer. So the water is getting colder. We have ice. This process, we called it, sorry, I wrote melt. This is the opposite process, sorry. Liquid freezes. How we write it? Freeze. Freeze. Liquid freezes to solid. Liquid is getting colder, so by cooling. So the condition is by cooling. If you bought a cup of water or glass of water in your room, it will freeze? Sure, no. We have to have a condition. Which is this condition? Cooling, or the water. When the water gets cool or gets colder, it changes into ice. Let's see here. Melt. Melt. Melt means to change from solid to liquid. From solid to liquid. Look, here, from liquid to solid. Freezing. From solid to liquid. So this is the opposite process, right? The solid changes to liquid. Solid melts to liquid. Now the opposite process. Liquid changes to solid. From liquid to solid by melting? No, by freezing. Or liquid freezes to solid. Okay? Okay, what is the condition to change the solid to liquid? Yes, the solid should, good job, get hotter. The solid gets hotter, so it will change into liquid. So the condition by heating. Bring your highlighter. Okay. Water can be liquid. Water can be liquid, solid, or gas. Liquid like the water, solid like the ice, gas like the vapor, okay? Heating and cooling can change the state of matter. We said we have heating and cooling. Only changing the state of matter is a physical change. We said that changing the state of matter is physical change because the kind of matter stays the same. Freezing, melting, evaporation, and condensation are physical change to the state of matter. Freezing, melting, evaporation, and condensation are physical changes. Okay? When you put water in a freezer and leave it for a while, the water freezes. You have a glass of water and you put this glass in the freezer and you will leave it 4 hours. The water, what will happen? The water freezes. The water is getting colder. The water is getting colder. So the water freezes and changes to ice. When an object freezes, it changes. Okay, so no need for this one. Okay. When an object freezes, it changes from liquid to solid. Okay, freezes. Okay, this is our pencil. Okay, freeze means to change from liquid to solid. So, freezes. When an object freezes, it changes from liquid to solid by cooling. Juice is look here, juice is a liquid. It has no shape, takes the shape of its container, which is the glass here. Now it's a solid. Look, it has a shape. How? The juice changes into solid by freezing. The juice is getting, then the juice changes into an ice cream. Write what happens when water freezes. What happens? Liquid or water, you can write. Change to solid. Or you can write water changes to ice, okay? Here by what? By cooling. Good job. Highlighter. Okay. When ice is placed in a warm place, heat is added. The heat melts the ice back into liquid. When an object melts, it changes from solid to liquid. Melt means change from solid to liquid, okay? By heating, good job. And look here, we have a nice pop. A nice pop melts into a liquid. Imagine you have an ice cream and your mommy calls you, okay? You will leave the ice cream and go to your mommy. Your mommy needs help, okay? You will help your mommy, then you will come back to your ice cream. What will happen to your ice cream? Yes, the ice cream will melt. The ice cream will melt. Why? Because you left the ice cream and your room is warm. So the ice cream is cold and the ice cream changes to liquid like juice. This process we called it melting. So melt means when we change the matter from solid to liquid. Look here, when you heat butter, it melts and becomes a liquid. When your mommy bought the butter on the stove, the batter changes into liquid, right? You put an ice cube in, yes, cause and effect. What is the effect of heat on the ice? Okay, you put an ice cube in a sunny place. You have an ice cube and you put this one outside, okay, in the sunny day. What will happen? Yeah, good job. The ice will melt. So ice melts here, right? Melts to water. So we are changing the state of matter. It was solid, then becomes liquid. So you put an ice cube in a sunny place, so the ice melts to water. The solid changes to water. Okay. Evaporation. Evaporate means to change from liquid to gas. From liquid to gas. Evaporate. Long A. Evaporate. Evaporates. Liquid evaporates to gas. Liquid evaporates to gas. What we call this process? Evaporation. Evaporation. What is the condition? Yes, by heating. By heating. So liquid, good job. Liquid is getting hotter. So the liquid changes to gas. Like when we have water and the water evaporates to water vapor. So the water is getting, good job, hotter. So the water changed to steam or water vapor. Okay? The opposite process, which is condensation. 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 Condense means to change from gas to liquid. From gas to liquid. The evaporation from liquid to gas here, from gas to liquid. When the gas condenses to liquid, the condition is cooling. Cooling. So gas by cooling becomes liquid. The water vapor becomes water. Good job. Look, here we have the condensation. You have you bring a glass and you fill the glass with cold water. Yes, you will touch the water here outside. You'll see droplets. Gotcha. This is the condensation. Gas. Look here. This is window. Outside it's so cold. And inside your room it's warm. Outside we have cold weather, so the water vapor, good job, the water vapor changes into water, and you can write here condensation. You can write your names too. You will see droplets here. Here too. When you take shower, look at the mirror. Okay. Evaporation and condensation. Bring your highlighter. Okay. Have you ever seen water and steam rising up from a pot? Sure. When your mom is cooking. Okay. The stove, which is source of heat, the stove heats the water. in the pot. Then heated water evaporates and change into water vapor. So water evaporates, so changes into water vapor that rises in the air. Look, do you remember? We made it in the class. Okay. Yes, I don't have pot, but I brought the kettle. Do you remember? Yes. To evaporate means to change from liquid to gas. I wanted to save this one. Evaporate means to change from liquid to gas. Water vapor is a gas in the air. Cooling the water vapor changes back into liquid water. Cooling the water vapor here. The cover of the pot. If you see the cover of the pot, you will see water. Why? Because the water vapor cools. Good job. So cooling the water vapor changes back into liquid water. Look at the picture of the glass here. The cold water or the cold glass cools the water vapor in the air around it. The water vapor condenses and changes to droplets and droplets of water on the outside of the glass. To condense means to change from gas to liquid. So each two processes are opposite, right? Okay. Evaporates or evaporate means to change from liquid to gas. Condense means to change from gas to liquid. Okay, boys and girls? Okay. Now I have to bring my marker. Okay. Right here, how are water vapor and liquid water different? How? Easy. Can you tell me the state of matter of water vapor? Water vapor is gas. And liquid water is liquid. They have different states of matter. Okay. So how they are alike? Both of them are matter. You know this question, right? How does water vapor change into liquid? I have water vapor and I wanted to change the water vapor into liquid. So here, or I have to write vapor or gas. Vapor change to liquid. How? What do we call this process first? From gas to liquid. Good job, condensation. And about that. Water vapor changes into liquid by liquid water. So I can write here water. Vapor into water. gas to liquid. Okay, gas to liquid by when the water vapor changes into water, we call this process condensation. So water vapor changes into water by condensation. But what is the condition? The water vapor should what? Should cool. So I can write by, I have to change the color. Sorry for being late. So write by cooling. Or you can write water vapor is getting what? Colder. Okay. So water vapor changes into water by the condensation process, and we have to have cooling condition. Okay, so the water vapor changes into liquid water when it cools. So we have to cool the water vapor to get water. Okay, we finished our lesson. If you can, show me the four processes: evaporation, condensation, freezing, and what we have, freezing, melting, evaporation, and condensation. Evaporation, here, or by using the kettle, like this pot when your mommy cooks. Condensation, the cover of the pot, or but any plate. Okay, evaporation, condensation, you have many choices, but melting, you can use an ice cube or chocolate. Okay, put them inside the microwave if you have, or leave the ice outside, it's okay. And we have this is melting and freezing, but water inside your freezer. And please, if you can make videos for the four processes: evaporation, condensation, freezing, and melting. And I want you to solve these questions, and we wanted to revise the lesson. Okay, changes of state: from ice to water by melting, from water to steam by evaporation. Okay, now from gas to liquid, condensation, from liquid to solid, freezing. Okay, let's see the next slide. Okay, draw the particle here or the molecule here. You can draw them close to each other. Here, make distance. Here. Okay. Now, from ice to water, melting. From water to water vapor. Good job. Evaporation. Okay. From water vapor to liquid. Good job. This is all boys. Okay, condensation. From water to ice, freezing. Okay. By heating here and here by heating, here by cooling, okay? Solve it alone if you can. Thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. Sorry for being late, but we have many information. And inshallah, study this lesson. And inshallah, we will take the next lesson, lesson 2, on Wednesday and Thursday, okay? I love you all.